Hello everyone, today in this video I'm going to be having a look at this Dyson Fluffy vacuum cleaner. Now this particular one belongs to my mum and she's been complaining that it's been making a pulsating noise. Well, normally when a Dyson cordless cleaner makes a pulsating noise it means there's a blockage somewhere, so I'll be checking for blockages, but I'll also be giving the whole cleaner a bit of a spruce up. To maintain the efficiency of the Dyson V6, whether it be the Fluffy or any other models in the V6 range, you need to keep the filter clean and the mesh clean, and of course you need to make sure you don't go above the max fill line. Now, according to the instructions, Dyson recommend you wash this filter once a month. Now I have to say, my mother's had this vacuum for several months and the filter hasn't been washed yet, so obviously I'll be giving it a wash, but despite the fact it's never been washed, it's not too bad. To wash the filters, simply clean them under running water, squeeze them out and then leave them to dry somewhere not above direct heat. Make sure they're thoroughly dry before reinserting them into the cleaner. To give the bin and the shroud a more effective clean, you need to remove the bin assembly. First of all, I can see that there's some dirt in this bin, so I'll empty that first. Now that I've emptied the machine, I need to remove the bin to give it a more thorough clean. So with the flap open, press the bin release button again to remove the whole bin from the cleaner. So just press it down and then push it forward, and then you can take off the motor unit and you're left with the bin. Now you can clean this, don't submerge this in water because it does contain current carrying conductors to the power head. So here there's electricity supply through this, and there's also some electrical contacts on the back, so never submerge this in water. You can clean it with a damp cloth, but make sure it's thoroughly dry before putting it back in the machine. I recommend these surface wipes that you get for wiping around your kitchen because they're just slightly damp. They're not going to over wet the machine, but they will do a good job of removing the dust and dirt. So I'm going to give the bin a bit of a wipe over and pay particular attention to the seals as well, especially around the bottom of the bin here. Make sure they're free of any dust or grit, and once you've given that a thorough clean, put the bin to one side. When you've removed the bin from the cleaner, it's easier to check for blockages inside here. Now onto the motor unit. Obviously you can pull the filter out and rinse that under running water to clean it, so once you do that, put that to one side to dry. Now we have access to the shroud, we can give that a more thorough clean. So you can use the brush supplied with your Dyson to brush off any dust or loose debris such as pet hair, etc. Also make sure you clean around this top seal here. Just get the brush in. Whoops. Give it a thorough brush. Now if you want to give this a more thorough clean, you can use another vacuum cleaner, which is what I'm going to do now, because also with another vacuum cleaner, if you've got one to hand, you can direct the suction inside here, which helps dislodge any dirt that might have stuck to the inner cyclone. Once you've removed all the loose dirt, you can use another wet wipe and give the whole unit a good wipe over. And especially pay attention again to the seal around the top. Make sure there's no grit caught in it, because the seal won't operate as effectively if there's any particles of dirt that does gather in there after repeated use. The advantage of using another vacuum cleaner is you can get most of the dust that is behind this mesh screen. You can't get that just by brushing the surface. So if you have another vacuum to hand, that's always the best way to give this cyclone a really good clean. Even though I've only used wet wipes to clean this Dyson, it's still important to make sure it's 100% dry before reassembly. The next part that looks like it needs a bit of a clean is the Motorhead itself. As you can see, there's some threads trapped around the brushes. It's easy enough to remove the brush. All you need is a coin. Simply place it into the slot here at the side and turn it to the unlocked position. Take off the end cap, and then you can just slide out the brush. And it's at this point you can check if you've got any blockages. It's quite a narrow opening there, so you can look through. There are a few bits stuck in this head actually. Don't poke anything sharp down there. You can also see if there's any blockage here in the cleaner head. Well, this seems to be free of blockages. Another thing you can take off is this part here at the back. So again, now 2p coin is a little bit big, so I'm going to have to get a smaller coin for that. So with a smaller coin, and I think a 5p piece will do this, you can open this part up, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of dirt trapped behind there. So again, if you've got another vacuum cleaner to hand, you can use that to remove the dirt. Once you've removed any loose dirt, you can use another wet wipe or a damp cloth with some mild detergent and give everything a good wipe. So you can wipe the internal parts like this, wipe the base plate, and also if you can get into this little groove at the back, you could use a blunt object to clean that groove, like a screwdriver. As long as you put some of this wipe on the end, it actually helps to get this groove really clean. But don't use anything too sharp, you don't want to damage the machine. It's not too bad, this one, so I'm managing to clean it all up just using the wipe. So that's all the internal bit given a good clean, and then of course if you want to, you can give the external part a bit of a wipe over too. Also, don't forget to clean this part internally and externally, again with the wet wipe or a damp cloth with some mild detergent. Give that a good clean. You can also clean the little velour strip at the back. So that's good. So we can just put these to one side to let them air dry. And now it's on to the brush roll. To remove any hairs or threads from around the brush roll, grab a pair of scissors and just cut along, trying not to cut the brushes themselves. That's it, just one more. Once you've cut them, simply pull them off. Again, this is where another vacuum cleaner comes in very useful, because you can just insert the end of this brush into the end of the hose of a vacuum cleaner to remove most of the debris. Make sure you keep hold of it though, because you don't want it sucked up into your cleaner. Once the brush roll is clean, you can give it a wipe with a damp cloth or a surface wipe. Now it warns you in the instruction book not to touch the black carbon fibre brushes, because some people may get skin irritation from them, so beware of that. I'm just going to give them a wipe over to remove any ground on dirt. That should do it. And again, I'll put that to one side to dry before reassembly. This Dyson V6 comes with the Fluffy hard floor cleaning head. Both these rollers are removable for easy cleaning. Again, you need a coin. There's a little bit here you need to turn to unlock the end cap, and then there's a little arrow pointing downwards. So just open it up, push it in the direction of the arrow, and then this whole unit slides out. It's not too bad actually. I'll probably get away with just giving that a wipe over. You can actually rinse this under the tap, but when you dry it, Dyson say to have it in that position to allow any water to drain off it. The smaller roller at the back is just removed by pulling it out, and both of the rollers can now be rinsed under running water. Of course, make sure they're dry before reassembly. Dyson suggest waiting 24 hours. Again, if you have another vacuum cleaner to hand, you can use it to remove any dust or fluff that's gathered in the nozzle. At this stage, you can check if there's any blockages in the air path. And again, you can give the whole cleaning head a wipe over with a wet wipe or damp cloth, both on the exterior and on the interior, taking care not to damage the motor that's situated here. It is possible to pass a cloth or a wet wipe just underneath that to give the clear portion of the head a good clean. You can clean the velour strip at the back and the suction channels. The final head to look at is the mini motorized tool, and looking at this one, I don't think my mum has used it very much, but I'll show you how to clean the brush bar anyway. Again, you've got another screw thread here, so you can use a coin, turn it to the unlocked position, pop the end cap off and then slide out the brush bar. Remove any hairs and fibres from it, give it a wipe if you want to. Check for any blockages in the nozzle. Again, you can give the nozzle a quick wipe and then reassemble. Well, that's all the parts cleaned. All we have to do now is reassemble the Dyson, starting with the bin. You'll notice at the front here there's a little lip that corresponds with a small hole, a small cutout here at the top of the bin at the front. So it takes a little bit of jiggling, but you need to locate it at the front. And then with any luck, if you've got it in the hole, you push it back until it locks. As I said, it's a bit tricky. There we go. Don't force it. If it doesn't go first time, just jiggle it about a bit. So that's the bin in place, and then of course we can close the bin trap door. And then once the filter, of course, is 100% dry, that just pops back in there. I'm going to take this one out and dry it because I haven't dried it yet. But I was really surprised at the amount of dirt that came out of the water. It took me a few minutes until the water ran clear. So despite the fact that this filter did look clean, it was pretty clogged up. So I would go by Dyson's recommendation and clean your filter once a month. To reassemble the Motorhead, we need to slide the brush in. Make sure it goes this way in first. So just push it in and give it a bit of a twist. And then pop the end cap on, dislocate it, and then use a coin to turn it to the locked position. And then finally you need to attach the strip at the back. Again, pop that into place. There we go. And this one needs a 5p coin to turn it to the locked position. To reassemble the fluffy head, first insert the small roller at the back. Just push it onto the spindle at this side. And then ensure that this piece here is seated. Then slide on the large fluffy roller. It'll only go in one way. Slide it on this way first. Put on the end cap like this. And then push it closed, and then finally lock it in position with this one takes the 5p piece, and that's done. And last but not least, reassemble the mini motorized tool by putting in the brush roll, popping on the end cap and locking it into position. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope you found the hints and tips useful in keeping your Dyson Fluffy operating efficiently. If you have any questions or comments, please comment below, and don't forget to subscribe and you'll be updated every time I upload a new video. So until the next time, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.